This episode of ETC is sponsored by Go90 for Transformers: Titans Return. Watch new episodes of Transformers every Tuesday on Go90 and Go90.com. Hey, it's Weekly Weird News. A pretty short one because everyone has left the office for the holidays and they are currently at the door telling us to get the fuck out.
I'm being held hostage.
Yeah, he kind of is.
Yeah.
But on to the news. So one of the recurring characters on the show who has a recurring history of weirdness alongside people like Malachi Love Robinson, Martin Shkreli, and Rodrigo Duterte is Italian neurosurgeon Sergio Canavero. He first caught our attention all the way back in April of 2015 when he said that he was going to do what the lamestream scientific community said was impossible. Cut off a person's head and attach it to another person's body. A head transplant, or a body transplant if we're being really pedantic about it.
Way to kind of think about it like it's an SAT question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the reason such a procedure is considered ridiculous by most doctors and scientists is because, well, your entire nervous system is connected to your brain. It's
What?
The thing inside your head that hurts when you fall on it when you skateboard. Your brain also needs a constant supply of blood and oxygen, or else, and cutting off a head is easy. Reattaching it, not so much. So, while there's been progress in recent years reattaching limbs and even transplanting limbs, the general consensus is that attaching a head to a new body is dangerous and probably doomed to fail.
But Canavero just dabbed on the haters, though, and he just kept at it. He has found a Russian man, or he did find a Russian man with a terminal illness who volunteered to be one of the first patients because fuck it, he's gonna die anyway. That guy, not clear if he's involved anymore, but the show must go on. Canavero, he planned to do that procedure within just the next 2 years, and you know what? Like clockwork, he's finally done it, guys. Except, well, no, he hasn't, and shame on you for thinking so.
Yeah, the confusion seems to stem from headlines like this one, which appeared in the generally reputable online newspaper, The Telegraph. World's first human head transplant a success, controversial scientist claims.
Whoa, they did it.
Hey, that's pretty cool. Headlines are reliable. Wait! It may shock you, but it turns out a lot of people and a lot of you people consume news entirely via headlines because literally the first sentence of that article explains what's actually going on here. The world's first human head transplant has allegedly been performed on a corpse in an 18-hour operation which successfully connected the spine, nerves, and blood vessels of two people. Well, one former person at least. I'm assuming the other guy was two dead people.
Yeah.
So it sounds a lot like this is some weird, like this guy would be on an episode of Dexter, and Dexter would have to hunt him down because he's hacking up bodies and putting them in cool poses.
Yeah. So, okay, literally they just cut off one dead person's head and attached it to another dead person's body.
Weird.
So not quite what you might have pictured when you read world's first human head transplant a success. But hey, I mean, to be clear, they did transplant a head and it was human, so.
Yeah, I'm sure
Checkmate,
a lot of
haters.
mobsters did. Yeah, head transplant. I moved it across state lines and buried it.
So Canavero announced his achievement at a press conference in Vienna last week where he said that he and a team of surgeons in China had successfully fused the spine, nerves, and blood vessels of the two corpses over 18 hours, and that the success was proven through electrical stimulation of the nerves of the corpse.
Yeah, if you play MKXL, there's a achievement unlocked, head transplant, if you do the correct fatality.
Yeah, also, electrical stimulation, like, I can hold your hand and touch a wall outlet, and you're gonna get electrocuted.
I'm gonna go like this.
That doesn't mean I've transplanted my hand onto your body.
No, it's not how science works. However, Canavero didn't provide any actual proof of all this stuff he's been talking about. It's become a pattern for him. He says there's a scientific paper outlining the whole thing, and it's coming in the next few days, just like checks in the mail. But at least, as when we were recording this, he still hasn't. Similarly, with previous steps toward his goal where he severed and reattached the spinal cords of mice and dogs, just like people, the evidence he presented didn't convince a whole lot of scientists who saw the evidence is dubious and unscientific and not very detailed. I did it, and I cleaned my room, and I did the head transplant.
Nah,
no
you
big
don't
deal.
look over there. I did it. That's not to say that Canavero's completely full of shit, but he's definitely moving faster than the scientific community, or at least the scientific community in the Western world, is comfortable with.
Libs.
Scientific progress is slow, and that's not because scientists are slow, it's because new ideas need to be repeatedly tested and peer-reviewed and scrutinized before most scientists will accept them. Skepticism is built into the scientific method, so it's understandable that most scientists call bogus on a dude claiming that he's going to attach a living person's head to a dead person's body any day now. It's coming, guys.
It's if you almost think of it like software, it's buggy when it first come out. There's betas for OSs and games and stuff like that. And if you're in the beta of a head transplant, you're probably not going to live. And I think, I know this off the air now, but the Nick, that Soderbergh show on Cinemax, really great show. But for 2 seasons, you kind of get to see them go through beta testing these medical procedures. And people are just dying and blood shooting out. And it's frankly terrifying to think that's what medicine used to be. And this guy's kind of on that tip.
He's bringing it back. Science isn't fun anymore.
No, man, we're beta testing. Hope you don't care about it. But a lot of scientists who've spoken publicly about what Cannavaro is doing basically say that while the procedure is possible, there's a million things that could go wrong in this really complicated process, and therefore unethical to perform on a living person until it's been rigorously tested over and over again. You know, out of closed beta. You know.
Yeah, I can't even get PUBG to run without it crashing once a night.
Mice and
How are they
dogs.
gonna fucking attach a living guy's head to a dead body?
Well, it depends where you drop. Why not just focus on spinal reconstruction to start, right? Like square one, help a ton of people, then gradually widen the scope of this based on the success and failures of that.
Yeah, people are paralyzed. Like, why are you jumping all the way to head transplants? There's a lot of things in the middle that you could focus on, do a lot of good. You're kind of jumping, he's literally jumping the shark here.
You know when you...
Figuratively, literally.
When you start a game like an RPG and you go to the hard zone where you're fighting like level 20 monsters trying to get good gear and just hopefully get some XP. He's trying to get that XP there.
He's grinding.
Yeah.
He's grinding that head right off the body.
Cannavaro, when he's not playing RPGs, on the other hand, says that when he does finally try it on a living person, and again, that's kind of the like, when I do this, when I perform my operation on a living person and not just hack up cadavers, he's wants to do it sometime in 2018. The procedure will have a 90% chance of being successful.
Wow.
Gordon, just
real confidence.
Wow. Real easy.
Yeah.
Seems a bit overconfident and grandiose, if you ask me, but that's Dr. Sergio Cannavaro for you. At that press conference in Vienna, he told attendees, "For too long, nature has dictated her rules to us. We're born, we grow, we age, and we die. For millions of years, humans has evolved, and 100 billion humans have died. That's genocide on a mass scale. We have entered an age where we will take our destiny back in our hands. It will change everything. It will change you at every level." So, look, sounds great, Doc. Really does. I love what you're doing, but forgive us if we remain just a tiny bit skeptical until you deliver the goods. This is starting to sound kind of like a Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah, they couldn't even...
Oh yeah, it's coming any day now.
They couldn't even make the drone that you throw and take selfies of yourself.
No.
They raised $28 million and that didn't work. And this guy's cutting your fucking
People just keep
head
falling
off.
for hype.
And that was some of the most grandiose Dr. Frankenstein, like
I am going to
crazy shit.
defeat death.
And time, it's not like, whatever. I mean, hey, weird shit happens all the time these days. If Cannavaro does actually manage to pull this off, we'll all be surprised, but not shocked. All these years of weird news have really worn us down. Plus, maybe immortality is a bad idea given how shitty and stupid we are as the human race. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could just live forever. I mean, you know, you ever have like a bad teacher or a bad neighbor and you're like, man, I can't wait to get out of here.
Can't wait till they die.
And then that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And one of the craziest stories I read probably like 6 months or a year ago when this nut job was pitching this, they said that if this is successful, the person who is still living at the end of this fucking disaster could face hallucinations never even fathomed.
Yes.
Because it's like, imagine if you've ever been on any sort of drug ever and you're like, whoa, this is a bad
Whoa,
trip.
it's like I have someone else's body, but it's like, whoa, I actually have someone else's fucking body.
Eternal, and maybe they're like, well, let's just leave him in this coma, but you're living out like thousands of lifetimes every minute and you're just in constant pain and mental anguish.
Everything hurts.
That's scary. So I would just take paralyzed death over being the first alpha male or female who goes through this thing.
But hey, they made it look so easy in Wolfenstein 2. Spoiler alert. Anyway, we said this episode was short, so let's just jump right into the headlines, which mostly speak for themselves, starting with his emotional support squirrel could get him evicted, but he won't live without her.
Well, I don't know if the landlord of his car is going to say that the squirrel can't be in there. Just buy a car and live out of that thing, you know?
Yeah. They said I couldn't have my squirrel. Well, the joke's on them now. I live in the forest, and I have all the squirrels I could ever ask for.
You really showed them. That's how you flip it. That's another SAT question thinker there.
Yeah, I mean, like, emotional support dogs, cats. I get it, totally. But then you see people with emotional support, like ostriches and goats and shit, and it's like,
okay.
I don't know. Those aren't animals that have been like dogs and cats make sense because they evolved alongside humans to be companion animals.
Okay.
Squirrels don't give a shit about us.
No. And here's the thing. I'll just, because this is a guy, if there's any ladies out there who are like, leave him alone. Just, you know what? I'm like, all right. If, let's say this was on his dating profile and he was a match with you, what would you do? And if vice versa, if it was a girl, I'd be like, oh, she's so cute. Look at her and a squirrel. And then if I'd be squirrel, I'd be like, and check, please.
Oh, she really likes that squirrel.
There are some deeper...
and she's homeless now because of the squirrel?
Deeper issues than just having a squirrel. Why is it an emotional support squirrel? Philly cheesesteak lover buried with his favorite sandwiches.
Can you guess how he died?
How did Nick Gregorio die? No, heart attack?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
like it's that much of a 1-to-1?
Yeah.
I mean,
he died. I mean, look. He probably knew he was going on that path. You know, if I'm gonna go, it's gonna be my heart that goes because I eat fucking Pat steaks all the goddamn time. So, whatever. He's told his sons he wanted a couple of his favorite steaks to be buried with him, and they picked up 2 because he would always say, "Hey, if you're going down to Pat's Steaks, you gotta get 2 steaks."
Get me 2?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Damn.
Yeah.
I have a theory. He's just faking it. He was hungry. He just wanted 2 steaks. Yeah. Or this guy, he thought he's, you know how they used to bury people with their treasures or with things in case you were ever buried alive. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's just like bury him with them in case I need the energy to dig my way out of this. You know,
right. He has
grave.
an offering to bring into the afterlife to give to the troll at the river Styx.
What religion?
I don't know any mythology. U.S. Navy admits that its pilot drew sky penis.
Well, there you go. A lot of people, you telling me, Phil, that cloud doesn't look like a dick. You see what you want to see. Not true. This one was a dick.
I just love it because it reaffirms everything I assume about Navy pilots based off of my only frame of reference, the movie Top Gun.
Yes. Yeah.
The type of person who manages to end up flying a fucking military jet, they're a bit strange. And they're kind of like super bros, sky bros.
Sky bros.
And just like a college bro draws a dick on the fucking public bathroom of his dorm building, these guys are drawing dicks in the sky.
I would have to say that how this would have been if this happened when American Vandal was released.
I know.
How amazing.
Would have been a good tie-in.
That would have been a great tie-in. So for season 2, Funny or Die, Netflix, why don't you make that one happen?
Yeah, but and for you kids who get in trouble for drawing dicks, here you go. Say like, hey.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna be a fucking pilot someday.
Let's hit a topical holiday themed story. Police warn people not to eat spoiled trash picked turkeys.
Why?
I feel like it's back with that Darwinism. Like, don't tell them, because if you're digging for turkeys, I'll tell you a story. I went to go see some friends. They had an extra turkey. I was in Arizona for Thanksgiving, and they said, "Here's a spare turkey. Just throw it in your freezer."
Spare turkey.
Here's the thing, because there weren't as many people for dinner, so they had like 4 turkeys, but we only ate 3 of them. So I took it home. Guess what? I forgot to take it out of my trunk. Next day, I had a still frozen trunk turkey, and I was like, not gonna risk it, and threw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It probably not worth it.
I probably could have still had a good turkey. I was like, it still felt very cold, but I was like, I'm past this point in my life. Past it.
It's like you want to fuck with chicken, and you can't have, chicken that's really bad for you.
Turkey's just a big chicken that doesn't taste as good.
Exactly.
This whole thing is apparently it's a fucking butcher shop in Maine. They had a problem with a batch of turkeys, so they threw them in the dumpster, and then they came the next day. They're like, they're all gone. We should tell the police. They've all probably been eaten by now. Though.
Yeah.
And the police were like, do not buy any black market turkeys. Like, what? Are people coming up to you at the gas station and be like, hey man, you need some turkeys?
I once legit, probably about 20 years ago, there was an overpass. I was going to my friend's house, and there was an overpass with a van underneath that said shrimp, $6.99 a pound. And it is like, that's a bad joke. That's something you'd see on like King of
Where
the Hill
was
or Letter
this?
Kid. It was in Buffalo, where I grew up.
Not very coastal.
No, but straight up under an overpass in the summertime, a white van with the doors open, and the guy was just
Hot
chilling.
van shrimp.
That's bad. That's
I mean,
the
in
same thing.
Hawaii, I eat shrimp out of a truck for every meal, but Buffalo, not so much.
Don't do it.
Marilyn Manson mourned on Twitter, confusing him for dead mass murderer Charles.
And that's, you know what?
Only true Marilyn Manson fans know Marilyn Manson's name.
Paul from the Wonder Years. It's not him.
I miss when urban legends could not be verified.
That was awesome.
And you just assumed that he was Paul from the Wonder Years and he could suck his own dick because he removed one of his ribs.
Done deal.
Now we know that's not true. It sucks.
Many moons ago, I wrote an essay on how the internet ruined April Fool's Day for that very reason.
Yeah.
If someone says Twitter it's every fact has a gun to its head, and before it comes out of your mouth, people are like, no, it's not. He's alive. You can't pull anything over. Back in the day, Electronic Gaming Monthly, EGM had the best.
Oh, yeah.
April Fool's things, and you'd sit, and it was like, because it was your news source, and where would I get my stuff
they
from?
would just lie about
I'd go
Easter
to
eggs.
them. Yeah, they'd lie about Easter
Like,
eggs.
yeah, you just have to jump like 150 times
And
then
that's it. You gotta beat the guy in that, and you get Shenlong, or you get
Yeah.
Sonic in Smash Bros, and it's all gone. But you know what, Marilyn Manson, you deserve to have people think you're dead for naming yourself after Charles Manson.
Well, wait till his fans find out that Marilyn Monroe is dead. It's gonna happen all over again.
Wait, hold on. I need a minute. Man finds car 20 years after forgetting where he parked it.
Congratulations.
I've never had a story speak to me more. I have too many embarrassing stories about losing my car. I've lost it at sporting events.
Oh, yeah. Sporting events. The worst for me is Las Vegas hotel parking lots because they're
no.
fucking massive and they don't label the sections well enough. I thought I lost my car last time I was there over the summer. Like, I was walking around fucking pissed off. Like, I found a security guard. I was like, hey, I called my rental car company. I was like, I think the car's been stolen. What do I do? And they're like, call the cops. I was like, God fucking damn it. I don't need this right now. But it turns out it was just somewhere else.
I've dealt with cops too.
Yeah.
I had to go for work. I when I was a PA a million years ago, I went on a run and I parked in an underground structure, and I didn't notice where it was. And I went and get the thing, and I was like, "Where did I park?" I did it very methodically. I did all the blocks, and I couldn't. No. I couldn't even find the structure because they all were above ground.
Oh, no.
To the point where I was walking around the city for an hour, and I saw two
God.
cops. I'm like, "Hey, I parked in an underground structure," and they go, "Yeah, we don't have those around here." And I was like, What do I even call?
Your
What am I
car
gonna
is in
do
the
here?
upside down.
It took me an hour and a half. Terrible memory. Great at making analogies, but terrible memory.
Yes, this old German man who lost his car for 20 years and apparently just said, whatever. They only found it because the building that he parked in was due to be demolished. And someone was finally like, hey, that car's been here for, I don't know, 20 years. We should probably look into maybe if someone wants it back.
And there you go. And that is how you lose a car.
Yeah, you couldn't even
You
drive
park in
it.
a LA structure for more than like 24 hours, they
Done.
fucking tow you.
They'll tow it. You're over with.
Germany, they're just like, yeah, he'll be back. Let's give him some time. Any day now. Husband and wife accidentally shot in church meeting about gun safety.
2017 Mad Libs. That's what that
You
says
know,
right there.
none of these shooters are going to come for us because I got my gun right here and oh, Jesus Christ. Well, it's a good thing we practice gun safety.
In a church, though, maybe they weren't praying hard enough. Maybe, I don't know. You know what? I think these two people could learn.
Everything
something.
happens for a reason.
They could learn from cosplayers. Trigger discipline. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All those cosplayers are onto
Like
something.
this.
Because you know what?
Not like this.
You don't hear about a lot of cosplayers getting shot in
Like
churches.
this. Not like this.
All right. Lara Croft. Bone arrow safety.
Speaking of church,
San Jose churches offer marijuana to members. Feature pot smoking Jesus in ads.
and would you believe the police are saying their version of the story is that these people are running an unlicensed illegal marijuana dispensary under the guise of a church. Because the way this church works is you pay a $10 donation to gain entrance.
I understand.
And then they offer sacraments for sale, which you go and then consume in the church area where a video of
Jesus.
religion shit plays.
This is religion. Yeah.
We don't have to pay taxes. It's a religion.
This sounds a lot like something stoners would come up with on, like,
Yeah.
dude, like, religions are super protected, and, like, look at Scientology. Like,
Yeah.
ugh.
I mean, they're not wrong. Religious
It's-
protection in this country is a bit
incredible.
uneven.
But this seems like this idea needed a little more time in the oven. Before, I mean, I know Jesus smoked weed and everything,
Of course he did.
but
We all know that.
fuck, what was he saying? So you're a cop? I don't know.
You
It's-
have to tell me if you're a cop.
You do. You have to tell me.
I'm pretty sure it's in the Constitution.
North Korea sentences Trump to death
Oh, no.
for insulting Kim Jong-un.
Shit. Oh, no.
Wow.
Here's the
This is
best.
getting serious.
This is the best part of the story, is that it's not Kim Jong-un, it's North Korea as the people. North Korea as a collective.
As a democratic republic.
Yes.
Where everyone's voice comes together to sentence Donald
As they
Trump to
scream
death.
into a pillow, because their lives are being
Well, shit, it sounds-
dictated to them.
Sounds like Donald Trump can't visit his favorite vacation destination,
no.
North Korea, anymore because they'll arrest him and kill him.
Not
This
not
changes
because
everything.
of Kim Jong-un, because that's how the people feel. Guys, come on. Figure it out. Kim Jong-un.
You know what? We're going to sentence him to death. How about that?
Oh, Home Alone
Yeah.
face. I kind of have plans for Thanksgiving, so
Yeah.
can we maybe circle back on this for next week?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right.
Let's not trigger a nuclear war this week until after we've all seen our family and argued about whether we should go to nuclear war.
And then we
North
want to
Korea.
get there. Yeah. Are you guys doing family stuff?
Yeah,
You got family, right? I see.
my family's a bunch of commies though, so it's fine.
There you go.
Although my family's over a call, like a Skype call, so if we get into a discussion, just go click.
See, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm doing the I'm just getting together with friends and
Friendsgiving.
going to a
Friendsgiving.
restaurant and then just doing a pub, like
Good stuff.
a non-scheduled pub crawl.
Yeah,
just
chugging
having
that
fun
gravy.
with it. You know what I mean? Just
Huh.
putting the gravy and eating the turkey.
Well, a happy Thanksgiving to you, and if you're one of those people who ditches the dinner table early to go shopping, we have a video for you, our Black Friday guide.
And it's on a serious note, it's very important that you call your government officials about net neutrality.
That too.
If you go into this video, there's a lot of Black Friday stuff in there, but we implore you, again, we don't care of your political affiliation, rich, poor. If you live in the United States, please
It's a
go to
bipartisan issue. Battleforthenet.com.
battleforthenet.com. If you don't, your internet prices are going to go up. You'll be able to see less stuff, and it's going to be really, really bad. So if you let the internet in the cesspool it is now, cool. It's just
Yeah.
going to get worse if we don't. So battleforthenet.com.
Also watch our
call.
Monday show. Happy Thanksgiving!
Bye, guys.
Bye. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
I'm like half gravy as it is. It's weird.